IAEA has repeatedly confirmed and reconfirmed that there is no diversion in the Iranian nuclear program, and all declared nuclear activities and materials remain in peaceful purposes. In order to continue building confidence, Iran entered into a process of negotiation with EU3 and voluntarily suspended uranium enrichment for a long period of time. In fact, Iran's extended hand of sincerity and cooperation was pushed back by Western states and regrettably misused by them to deprive the Iranians of their undeniable rights to have peaceful nuclear program. Some Western states, through spiteful propaganda, have tried to portray Iran's peaceful nuclear program as an attempt of building nuclear bomb. As the latest effort, they have done their best to accuse Iran of building secret underground enrichment facilities without informing the inspectors of IAEA. Based on the NPT, Iran has a duty to notify the agency of her new nuclear facility only 6 months before injection of nuclear materials into this facility. Beyond her obligations, as IAEA confirmed, the Islamic Republic of Iran had reported to the agency that Iran had new enrichment facility under construction and informed IAEA that nuclear materials had not been delivered to this plant. Despite Article 4 of the treaty, which guarantees the inalienable right of all parties to the treaty to develop research, production, and use of nuclear energy for peaceful purposes without discrimination, and in conformity with Article 1 and 2 of this treaty, they tried to seize Iran's peaceful nuclear program. On the other hand, today our world remains more than ever alarmed by the threats posed by the continued existence of nuclear weapons, as well as a new trend to resort to the threat of using nuclear weapons as a means to achieve political objectives. As a serious source of concern in the Middle East, the Zionist regime's dangerous nuclear weapon facilities and nuclear arsenals are the real threats to all countries of the region and to international. The Zionist regime is the only nation in the Middle East to develop and acquire nuclear weapons capability. Israel's behavior has been different from the behavior of member states of nuclear club. The history of this regime's nuclear project is still shrouded in a great deal of secrecy. Israel has continued to develop nuclear weapons with the obvious support of some Western states. A new agreement, which was signed by the director of Israeli Atomic Energy Commission and the chairman of the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, enables Israel to have access to most of the latest nuclear data and technology available in the U.S. in another U.S. non-compliance with the provisions of the NPT. In conclusion, I think in order to solve the problems of Middle East and eliminate the roots of current crisis, any solution must be proportionate to 21st century. Early this month, I was in Manchester at the annual conference of Conservative Party. The Conservatives stipulated that if win the election, they would hold a referendum for approval of the Lisbon Treaty. They emphasized on the referendum because they believe in that as a modern and democratic instrument. Without regard to Lisbon Treaty, I want to say that such an instrument works to reward peace and stability to the people of the Middle East. A referendum with the participation of all the indigenous people of the Palestine, regardless of their religion or race. International community should pay more attention to disarmament in the region. It is obvious that if the world nations today do not take tough measures to limit Israeli regime, tomorrow will be so late. About Iran's peaceful nuclear activities, as high-ranking Iranian authorities repeatedly emphasized, weapons of mass destruction does not have a place in Iran's defense doctrine under any circumstances. Iran had been one of the victims of weapons of mass destruction, while Saddam Hussein several times used chemical weapons against Iranian combatants. As a peace-loving nation, Iran has never attacked any country in the last 2 centuries. Iranian nation spares no effort towards achieving the world's peace and stability. Iran, for its part, as a powerful and influential member of the international community, has prepared a package of initiatives and international peace of stability based on the justice, sovereignty, and mutual respect, which could be the basis for negotiations among the influential powers within the framework of collective commitment. Thank you very much.
You have a ready-made fan club here, I can hear from the claps, and particularly from the back. I know that your supporters. Yes, I can see you. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to open up for a discussion and a debate. But can I please ask you to say who you are and just limit your questions. And you want to say something? No. Yeah. No. Yeah. But limit to questions only. I'd rather not have comments at this stage because it's we have a big panel and we're going to limit. So I'll take you, sir, and then I'll take you, and then I'll come back to you and the others. Sir. Yeah, let's take 3 questions at a time. Sir.
My lord, you are right to say Adel Darwish was popular on channels. I'm glad that I don't have the television. But if I had television, I would like to see Kate Moss or Mrs. Baqer. Can I ask this question only, very short? Is Blair behind this wave of atrocity against Iran? And one elaboration from you, please. Can you tell me whether really Blair going to be president of European country?
Okay, we'll come back to that. Sir?
Ahmad, newspaper. My question, I think many will share me with it, is about the double standards the West adopts towards certain issues in the Middle East. The West continues to dictate its views and on some countries and turns its blind eyes on others. For instance, on Iran, it asked to abandon its nuclear program and abandon the uranium enrichment, while closing its eyes on Israel's arsenal of weapons, of nuclear weapons. Not only that, even worse, closing its eyes, unable or unwilling to stop Israel building new settlements, unable to lift the siege on Gaza, and even worse, unwilling to endorse Goldstone's report on human rights because it condemns Israel. So does this double standard serve the aim and the goal of the West, stability and peace in the Middle East, in the lack of fairness and and justice dealing with such issues?
Thank you. And
yes. Sorry, I'm different for final I quickly mention 2 points. First point, we are not going to go down the road of human rights again. They forbid Turkey to enter the European market, European Union, because of a human rights abuse, and that's an excuse. The same thing happening with Iran nowadays. They're coming and saying human rights issues is the main important thing. I don't give them either Turkey or Iran any excuse for abuse of human rights. But we are not going, that's denying of our intelligence or that question. We are not going down this road. Anyway, the question is this. sadly, Mr. Baqer and Mr. Adel, my friend, spoke about or nearly gave Israel the